it. Relax, relax. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Make Your Day Richer. I am your host, Jimmy Kimmel. I still have my job. We have a really, really good show today. I hope you had a good weekend. She is a genre-defying musician, a tech-savvy entrepreneur, and a powerhouse of creative energy. Siquoyia Blue, the Las Vegas-based innovator behind Abstract Soul, fuses R&B, funk, soul, and rock into a sound that's as bold as her story. From best-selling books to the dating Assassin's card game, which we're going to talk about, I'm very excited. I love books, I love music, and I love card games. She's also a voiceover artist. She's in IT analytics, and she's redefining what it means to live creatively and with purpose. Here's a snippet of her song, He Played Me. I Found Out His Secret. Take a look.
You played me once, but you ain't gonna play me again. I found out that you wasn't who you said you were. Player hater, you think you slick, but you ain't.
If that sounds like a good show to you, click that like button, click that share button, and let's start the show.
Make your day richer than it was before. Got some good times knocking upon your front door.
Well, Siquoyia, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me on. I'm grateful.
I don't even know where to start really with you because you are so busy, talented, creative.
Thank you.
And so, well, let's start with your podcast because you also have a podcast called Blue Alchemist.
Yes.
Tell everybody about the podcast.
Well, Blue Alchemist podcast, honestly, it started when I was 22. It was originally called Siquoyia the Revolutionary, but I was 22 and I was shy and severely introverted, even though I'm still introverted, but I was really introverted then. And so I canceled it. I just got too nervous. I started off on Blog Talk Radio, by the way. Shout out to Blog Talk Radio because that was like the grandfather of it all, where you first start, And so when I got some, I guess you could say, some confidence when I turned like 29 or so, that's when I said, okay, I'm going to do this. I need to tell people what's going on. I need to challenge their perspective. That's what I call it. So I started Blue Alchemist podcast, and it's based off of Paulo Coelho's book, The Alchemist. And I realized that anybody could change their life. You can change your life with anything. And that's what, Paulo Coelho's book, The Blue Alchemist, was about, was that you can transform your life using gold, just change your life. And so basically that's why I call it the Blue Alchemist podcast. And my podcast is about challenging your perspective, all about stories and sharing different stories from different people from all walks of life. And also doing my own shows where I'm talking about unsolved stories and mysteries, but they're all still stories and they're all challenging your perspective, because people say stay in your niche, but it's still a niche because it's still stories, it's perspectives. So that's what Blue Alchemist podcast is about.
And how often does it come out, and what day does it come out?
Well, I took a little break for like maybe 3 weeks, but it comes out every week. I usually have an episode. It's either with a guest or I could be by myself. So it depends. But every week that's what the release is. And sometimes more, depending on if, I can have some time. But yeah, every week.
Awesome. And it's available wherever the people are getting podcasts?
Yes. So Spotify, Apple, all of those buddies, they're everywhere. I'm actually trying to revamp my website. I want to do a new website where I can just have more control. So I'm going to be using WordPress next, because at first I wasn't, because I said I don't have time to keep up WordPress. But now I said, you know what? I'm just going to put it on WordPress. So, but you can still stream it anywhere on Apple and all that stuff.
Okay, good. What are you learning from your podcast, from hosting it, from speaking to so many people?
Oh, that's a good question. What I've learned was that there's so many different stories and different ways to get to different, I guess, to success. One of the questions I ask my guests is, what does success mean to you, right? Because growing up, I was taught success means the Maybach and you're looking good and, all this stuff. But when I realized that doesn't mean success to everybody. And sure, it didn't mean success to me neither. When I got older, I was like, that doesn't mean success. So one of the things I learned from the guests is that there's people can be happy in different ways and do different things, and it's okay to have to do different things that challenges the norm, that challenges status quo. And I've also learned that I wasn't that bad of a public speaker. I used to be like super shy and stuff, but what podcasting has helped me do is to be more of myself and to speak out more, and it also helps me, I guess you can say, with the music too. Everything kind of connects, but the podcasting has helped me out with confidence and everything. So I think I'm so glad I continued it and didn't stop it.
Yeah. So is the rest of the world.
Yeah. Thank you.
I think so many people think that artists, creators, creative people are always extroverted and always ready to be on and perform. And I meet so many people on this show, and myself included, who are kind of the exact opposite or toe that line between introvert and extrovert. Can you talk a little bit about that and how you still continue to show up for yourself, for everybody else, and perform when sometimes it can probably be difficult to do that?
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. I think, I do toe the line between extrovert, introvert. I can turn into an
Mhm.
extrovert and then I'll turn into introvert. I'm probably more introverted than extroverted,
Yeah,
but I
same.
think that it, what was it? What was the question again? It was how did
Great
I,
question. Now I have to remember
yeah, I was like,
things.
wait a minute.
Uh, just like
Sorry,
how,
guys.
as someone who toes that line, like how do you show up consistently for yourself and for your guests, for the people, and still perform when sometimes you don't feel like you need to be performing?
Oh, that's a good one. So yeah, so I basically tell myself that I got a calling. I feel like I'm being pulled to do this. Some people, say I'm doing this so I can get these numbers or this whatever. I'm doing this because I feel compelled to do it. So I always
Mhm.
tell myself I feel something from a higher power, and that's whatever anybody believe in, whatever. But I feel something from a higher power telling me that you gotta put this show out or else. And I'm like, what? What are you talking? And I feel like I'm being pulled. So that's why I make sure that I get these shows done. So if I'm by myself, fine. And I feel bad when I don't, because I have so much stuff to talk about. It's not even funny, rather. I'm
Yeah.
with a guest or by myself. But at times it's like, dang, I don't have time to, but I have to put it out. And that's what I'm holding myself accountable is consistency, because it's important. Because if you're consistent in this, then guess what? You're consistent in everything. It bleeds into every part of your life. So it's important that I stand and keep doing this until I'm not.
Yeah.
And so that's what gets me
Yeah.
going. That's what gets me to do the show and continue despite being nervous or having a tough day. I do it anyway.
Well, and with your hands in so many different artistic lanes,
Yeah.
do you ever gravitate, like, are you in them consistently? Like, I mean, she's writing music, writing books. I want to talk about your game.
Yeah.
I love games, so we're going to talk about that. Like,
Ooh, ooh.
do you focus on one thing for a while, or do you kind of go back and forth? Like, how does that work?
Well, you know what? That's a good question, because I think when you tell somebody you're doing multiple things, because growing up when I was 20 years old, they used to say, "Oh, you can't be a jack of all trades and master of none, whatever." And I used to believe it. I used to not do anything. I used to just focus on one thing, but I wasn't getting what I wanted. So when I got into tech and got into all these fields, I said music is always going to be there. And I said to myself, I'm not with a label, and I decided I didn't want to be with a label unless, it got to be a really great contract. But I
Mhm.
have the power to do what I want. So I can say, okay, this month I'm going to get this song done and it's going to be done, and that's all to it. And that EP is going to be done. When it comes to the card game or something, the card game is already done. You're just at that point, you're marketing it and making sure you're consistent with that, and that's where the consistency comes in. So you're marketing that, and you're staying consistent with it. I'm a finder of things. It's easy for me to get influencers. That's easy work for me. So that's why it was easy to have Dating Assassins and have the website, because Shopify has everything set up for you. Everything's ready to go. All you're doing is
Mhm.
making sure your ads keep running if you can. So that's what you're doing. And then with the music, I got so much power. Like, I just Whiskey on My Mind is about to be released. And it's just, and I kind of just did my own thing. Like, I could have sat and waited for the perfect producer to do it this way and this way and that way. But they weren't really understanding my vision. And I said, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it, and I'm gonna
Mhm.
put my hands on this and figure out how to do this beat. And I did it. I did my own beat for the first time, because I've always went to someone else to do the beat. I've always waited for someone. And I said, I'm done waiting. I'm done. Everything's made up anyway. And I keep saying this, it's made up. I'm going to make up my own way of doing this music. And that's that. And that's what I did. So
I
with Your
love
Mind,
that.
it'll be the first song I've done where I completed the beat. I've always written my own music. All the songs are always going to be was always written by me, but the beat part, this is the first time. But I did it in pieces. I didn't do everything all at once. Dating Assassins got launched 2 years ago. And I wasn't working on music like that all the time. And every artist is not touring. Like some people think because you're a singer, you're just you're touring. No, there's different ways to do music. You can submit it, to movies and stuff like that, and just put it out there for the collective. Because, like I said, I'm being pulled to do that as well. So when you have a pull, you put out your music, and you do it when you want to do it. When you feel compelled. But when you get to that power level where you want to be in charge of it and do it the way you want, you can put it out more instead of asking permission.
Yeah.
Oh, can I do this? It's okay to get opinions, but everybody doesn't have that. You don't have a million people to go to all the time. Just put it out.
I like that. Yeah, ask for opinions, but maybe not permission. Yes, that might be the title of this episode.
That's a good one.
Yeah, you describe your music as abstract soul. Can you tell everybody where that came from and what that means to you?
Well, abstract soul is because when I was trying to, when I first started doing music and, when I realized I want to take it seriously, probably at 14, when I realized that you can make money in it. When you're younger, you're just singing, you don't know what's going on. So when I wanted to make an income in it, I was like, everybody kept pushing me to R&B or just one thing. And I used to think, okay, that's what I got to do. But then when I got older, when I turned like 20, 21, I was like, I want to do something else. What if I want to mix rock with folk? What if I want to do country and folk? What can I do? And nobody would let me, nobody wanted to do it. And I felt like back then there were so many gatekeepers. It wasn't as sexy now as where you can go record on your iPad and be, you're okay. It wasn't a thing. So it's kind of like I was depending on them. But then, I said, let me create my own genre. So I created abstract soul because I feel like my voice is going to sound soulful all the time, but I might not sing on your typical beat. It might be techno one day, and then it might turn into folk, and then I don't know what I might do. So I really think that I wanted to start this movement for artists because I found out other artists felt the same way, but they didn't speak out about it. And I said, I want to be the one to be the change that I seek because it starts with us. I can't wait on someone else to do it. So that's why I started Abstract Soul.
I love that. And I think especially in the music world, I think when you start with something and then maybe you get known for some type of genre, you're not allowed to experiment and make other music. And that seems crazy as someone who's super creative.
Yeah. And it's art at the end of the day. And that's what I want people to understand. Exactly. It's not, when you look at an artist, he can do what he wants. I feel like we should be able to do what we want as musicians. We shouldn't be put in a box neither. It should be the same across the board.
Listen to her, will you? Siquoyia, words of wisdom, I tell you. Okay, tell everybody about Dating Assassins. My household is a big game night place. We have tons of people over often. Oh, wow. I love games. So when I saw that you invented a game, I got very excited.
Yeah, so I used to work for a gaming company. I was a network, technician over there in LA about a few years ago, and I got into this gaming energy, and I thought I just listened to everybody dating and stuff, their dating stories, like the guys, because I predominantly work with men, and they were they were telling me their stories. But then when I met with the ladies, they would tell me their stories. So I said, why not create a card game to kind of vet people? And plus, I got out of a bad relationship 7, 8 years ago. So I said, what are the questions that people need to ask? And let's make it fun, but serious. So Dating Assassin is a card game, 150 questions. And what it is to do is to vet people to see if that person is right for you. So it's not to beat anybody up. And some of the questions, I didn't, what I've learned too, look, not, because you said the podcast, what have I learned podcasting? What have I learned with a game? What I've learned is that you have to be detailed, just like in tech. You have to be detailed. You can't assume everybody knows, like someone like me, I can make my own rules up maybe because I'm creative, but you have to be detailed. So one thing I had to create was a facts page, which I did maybe 6 months ago after I learned, because some people didn't understand, when is the game over with? Well, it's 150 questions, so you can end it when you want, but I didn't know that they need to be told. So and then I had to say, if there's some questions you're uncomfortable asking or answering, I had to add that in there. So those are things that I thought that was, what people
Puns and
know,
say.
but you have
Yeah.
to detail. And so
Yeah.
that's what the game's about. And basically, if you see the person gets too nervous or squeamish, the whole fun part of it is to say you've been assassinated, game over. But we're not saying the game is over. We're just saying what made you squeamish to answer a question. And by all means, listen, if you don't want to answer why, then don't answer. Gosh, because I had
Yeah.
geez, some people don't know they don't have to answer a question.
Yeah.
And
That's
that
so
gives
funny.
somebody that's trying to be safe a place, not somebody to run if they need to run. Because some people do want a good life, want good things for themselves, and they do need someone that's on the same page as them. And so that gives them a chance to run the other way. And that's what Dating Assassin's about. And that's just, that's the first game of the Assassin's game Enterprise, because the next one is going to be for anybody to ask questions. So for anybody to ask questions to anybody, because some people don't like small talk and some people don't want to answer certain questions. So I want to create one for just anybody to ask questions. If you're visiting family, some people said, hey, they hate going to see family for Thanksgiving because they're stressed out, they don't know what to say about their job and stuff. Well, guess what, the new card game coming out, I'm not saying the name yet, the new card game coming out is going to be able to say, hey, this is let's use this game, and you can use that game to fill in the blank spots, because some people don't want to tell their business to everybody. So I think that's going to be the next one. But Dating Assassins is a game that I feel like can help serious daters, and I've played it with my aunt now in LA. You can even ask some of the questions to people that all these questions aren't dating questions, but some are.
Right.
But you can, one of the questions, do you like cats? People, one guy tried to say it's a dumb question. It's not a dumb question. Why? Because there's been arguments about animals. People have broken up about their animal. So it's very important to know if that person likes cats or not.
Yeah.
And so the game is more so for new daters, but I'm not saying somebody that's been in a relationship for 10 years can't reignite something with the game, because the point of the game is to bring you close together. Even if you think you know everything, it's just to bring you close together again, or to just bring you close together on a night you just want to chat, and just that's all it is. Yeah, sorry if I went all over the place, but
no, I love it. I love games, so I love hearing about it, and I love the details. I'm a very I'm very competitive, but I'm not. I don't cheat. I like to know the rules. I like to know. Yes. Yeah. So thank you for that. What is the best way that people can connect with you? And you'll have to come back to talk about your 75,000 books that you've written. And so, but what's the best way or the best place that people can connect with you?
So for the card game is datingassassin.com, but I do have a little mini bio, so sequoia.comi.io. And all my links are connected there. So you can see the podcast, the game, my music, you can know where to buy my music. I just started using Bandcamp, so the song will be available for sale, and all the proceeds go to me just investing into my music career without having being under some puppet master to tell me what to do. So that's what I want to do, and have time to help other artists too. So that's why I made the song for sale. Even though we're in a world where everything is free, music is just so freely given. But if somebody wanted to do that, they could.
I love it. Okay. Before we go, will you play a game with me?
Okay.
Okay. And if you win, everyone in our studio audience is getting a copy of Dating Assassins. Can you believe that?
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's so great. And make sure y'all leave reviews, because that's what helps me.
Yes.
More than the money.
Okay. We're going to call this 3 and 5. Okay. So I'm going to give you a category, and you have to give me 3 things in that category in 5 seconds.
Okay.
And it all revolves around being creative.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Okay. Yes.
First one. Okay, this is our unofficial timer right here. Things to use to be creative.
Oh my goodness.
I'm so sorry.
Dang it. I can't think.
It's okay. You get 3 out. Oh, it doesn't matter. Ready?
Yes.
3 places to go to be creative.
Bookstore. Bedroom.
Okay, you didn't get that one either. That's okay. There's still 2 more.
Today, guys.
So 5 seconds goes quickly. Ready?
Yes.
3 people to be creative with.
Beyonce, Danny Glover.
Okay.
Oh,
I think you've gotten 3 answers out this entire time, which is fine. That also is good. All right, final one. This is it. If you can get one in here, everybody in our studio audience gets a copy of Dating Assassins. Ready?
yeah.
3 feelings expressed through creativity.
Euphoria, peace, and enlightenment.
Done. We did it. You did it. Congratulations. Congratulations. Thank you so much for being here.
I love it.
Appreciate it. Come
Thank
back anytime.
you.
Yes,
Yes, I will.
yes.
Just let me know. Just poke me, and I'm here.
Okay. She's got all kinds of stuff. So go to her website and go get the game because I love games and buy her music. Would that be nice?
Oh
Siquoyia Blue,
man, whiskey
everybody.
on my mind. And whiskey brands, if you're looking for a whiskey anthem, whiskey on my mind, first alternative track I've ever done.
We'll be right back after this. Life is difficult. Are you feeling overwhelmed or like you could use a little support for your mental well-being? Visit the Help Hub. It's the most comprehensive and inclusive free online destination for mental health resources, helpful tools, crisis hotlines, and supportive content. Just go to thehelphub.co to find the resources you need when you need them most. Unlike other resource pages, the Help Hub is divided into 16 different categories, ensuring that everyone in every community has access to the resources and support that matches their unique needs. Find the help you're looking for at thehelphub.co. Welcome back, everyone. Hey, is anybody watching the new Netflix series Leanne from Leanne Morgan, comedian? If you're not, you have to. It came out last week. I've watched almost the entire first season. I'm hoping there's a second season. It takes like an episode and a half to like really start laughing. A lot. It's funny. It's just like, characters have to like build themselves and get comfortable. But it's really, really good. If you haven't checked out Leanne Morgan's stand-up, check that out as well. She's so funny. It's very Roseanne, Grace Under Fire-esque, but modern. The thing, what threw me for the first episode, which is why I think I didn't like it, is that I wanted it to be like Roseanne. You know how Roseanne's home, at least for me growing up, was very familiar and similar to the house that I grew up in. It looked the same. Leanne's home is all 2025. Like there's no like lived in feeling of her actual house in the show. So it just looks like a model home. So that's what threw me the entire time. Because I wanted it to feel homey and it just feels new. Anyway, it is a really good show. So once you get over that, the writing's good. Kristen Johnston, I think, from Third Rock from the Sun, and she's in it. It is a really good show, and I'm excited to finish it, and I hope it comes back. So check that out on Netflix. All right, that's our show. Go make your day richer. Go make somebody else's day richer. You've made mine by watching this show, and I love you for it. Tomorrow, Shrek will be here. Shrek. Don't know what that means? Tune in tomorrow and find out. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.